Could you survive 24 hours in a desert without food or water? That's the challenge at hand. It's not just about courage or strength, but about survival skills, about knowing how to make the most of extreme conditions. It's about understanding the desert's harsh reality and learning how to navigate its unforgiving terrain. The difference between making it or not could boil down to these techniques. In the next few minutes, we will explore the strategies and techniques that could save your life in such a scenario. The desert is a harsh environment, unforgiving and extreme. It's a place where the elements conspire to test the limits of life itself. But understanding this environment is key to surviving it. Imagine a world with scorching sunshine that can reach above 100 degrees Fahrenheit during the day. The air is dry, devoid of any trace of moisture, sucking the hydration right out of everything it touches. This is the desert at high noon, a furnace under an unrelenting sun. But the desert is a land of contrasts. As the sun sets, the heat quickly dissipates. The clear skies that allow the sun's rays to beat down during the day provide little insulation when night falls. Temperatures can plummet dramatically, often dropping below freezing. It's a stark reminder that the desert is a master of extremes. And then there's the issue of water, or rather, the lack of it. Deserts are defined by their arid conditions, where rain is a rare and precious event. It's a world where water is the most valuable commodity, a lifeline in a sea of sand and rock. Understanding these three fundamental characteristics of the desert, the heat, the cold, and the scarcity of water, is crucial for anyone who finds themselves stranded in this inhospitable landscape. It's not just about knowing the facts, but truly appreciating the severity and relentlessness of these conditions. The desert does not yield its secrets easily. It's a place where the rules of life are rewritten, where the survival strategies that work in other environments can be useless. But don't be disheartened. With knowledge comes power. The power to adapt, to overcome, to survive. So, remember this. The desert is a world of its own. It's a place where the sun can be your worst enemy and the cold your unexpected foe. It's a world where water is more precious than gold. Understanding this environment, respecting its power, and adapting to its challenges is the key to surviving it. Knowing what to expect is the first step in survival. In a desert, shelter is not a luxury. It's a necessity. The desert is a place of extremes, blistering heat by day, frigid cold by night. It's a harsh, unpredictable environment that demands respect. One of the greatest risks you'll face is exposure to these extreme temperatures, and that's why finding or creating shelter is paramount. Shelter serves as your personal refuge in this vast, open landscape. During the day, it shields you from the relentless sun, preventing dehydration and heat exhaustion. When night falls and temperatures plummet, a good shelter can trap heat and keep hypothermia at bay. In the desert, there's rarely a ready-made shelter waiting for you. But don't despair. With a bit of creativity and resourcefulness, you can construct something that will keep you safe. There are a few types of shelters suitable for a desert environment, each with its own set of advantages. Firstly, consider the natural shelter. This could be a cave or an overhang that provides shade and insulation. If you're lucky enough to find one, it's a great option. But remember, always check for inhabitants before moving in. You don't want to share your space with a rattlesnake or a scorpion. If there's no natural shelter available, you can create your own. A simple lean-to, made from branches and covered with leaves or any available material, can provide some protection. Another option is a sand trench. By digging a shallow trench and covering it with a cloth or tarp, you can create an insulating pocket that will protect you from both heat and cold. Remember, the goal is not comfort, but survival. Your shelter doesn't have to be a 5-star suite. It just needs to keep you alive. So, use what's available, be resourceful, and most importantly, stay safe. The desert is a challenging environment, but with the right knowledge and preparation, you can overcome its hurdles. Shelter is your first line of defense against the harsh desert elements. It's your sanctuary, your lifeline, your home away from home. A good shelter can mean the difference between life and death. Remember that. And you'll have taken the first step on your journey to surviving 24 hours in the desert. In the desert, your energy is your most precious resource. In this harsh and unforgiving environment, every action you take, every step you make, draws on your limited energy reserves. And when you're striving to survive, conserving that energy can mean the difference between life and death. In the relentless heat of the desert, physical activity can be incredibly draining. With the sun beating down, every movement can feel like a monumental effort. That's why it's crucial to limit your activity, especially during the peak heat of the day when the sun is at its most intense. Think of it this way: your body is like a car, and your energy is the fuel. Just as you wouldn't want to waste fuel on a long journey with no gas station in sight, you don't want to squander your energy in the desert. Instead, aim to move in the cooler hours of the early morning and late evening. Now let's talk about rest. It's not just about lying down and closing your eyes. It's about making the most of your downtime to replenish your energy reserves. Find a shaded spot, perhaps under a desert plant or a shelter you've created, and let your body rest. Remember to control your breathing. Slow, deep breaths can help to lower your heart rate and reduce your energy expenditure. And while it might be tempting to keep your mind occupied, try to avoid overthinking. Mental activity can also consume energy, so let your mind rest along with your body. In the desert, it's all about survival, not speed. You're not trying to win a race, you're striving to make it through. So conserve your energy, be strategic about your movements, rest effectively. Remember, in a survival situation, every ounce of energy counts. So in the desert, make every breath, every step, and every moment of rest count. Because when you're battling the elements and the odds, your energy is your lifeline. Being alone in a desert can be daunting, but remember, you're not entirely alone. The vast expanse of sand might seem endless, but in reality, there are eyes in the sky that could spot you. And for that to happen, you need to signal for help effectively. One of the most recognized distress signals worldwide is the signal fire. It's important to remember that the goal of a signal fire isn't to keep you warm, but to create smoke. Smoke is visible from far away and can lead rescuers to your location. If you can find dry plant material, it's perfect for creating a thick, noticeable plume of smoke. Another method to attract attention is using a mirror or any reflective surface. The sun's rays, when reflected off a mirror, can be seen from miles away. Even a piece of aluminum foil or the shiny side of a CD can work. The trick is to aim the reflection towards a potential rescuer, which could be an airplane or a distant vehicle. Creating a large signal in the sand or ground is another effective method. The universal distress signal is the letter SOS. Make it as large and contrasting as possible. Use rocks, branches, or even your own footprints. Remember, the key is visibility. But where should you place these signals? It's essential to position them in open, flat areas with maximum visibility from the sky. Avoid canyons or areas with tall dunes that might obstruct the view. And always consider the direction of the sun and wind when setting up a signal. It's also important to remember that signaling is not a one-and-done deal. It requires patience and persistence. Keep your signals active and maintain them as long as you can. The desert is vast, and it might take time for help to arrive. Effective signaling could be your ticket out of the desert. The ability to communicate your distress from a distance is an invaluable skill that could mean the difference between a daunting desert experience and a successful survival story. Surviving 24 hours in a desert without food or water is no small feat. It's a test of endurance, resilience, and survival skills. From understanding the harsh desert environment, its unpredictable weather, and the dangers it presents, we've embarked on a journey of discovery today. We've learned the importance of finding or creating shelter, a safe haven against the scorching sun and freezing nights. We've seen how crucial it is to conserve energy, to be mindful of every move we make, every breath we take, in an environment where resources are scarce. Signaling for help, another vital skill, could mean the difference between being found or being lost to the sands of time. Today's adventure has shown us that survival isn't just about enduring, it's about adapting, learning, and growing. With the right knowledge and skills, survival is possible. Remember to subscribe for more content on survival skills and adventures. And that's a wrap on surviving 24 hours in a desert. We're grateful for the time you've invested with us today. Remember, every thumbs up, every share, every subscription fuels our passion to bring you more content. So don't hold back. Show some love and let's keep this adventure going. We wouldn't be here without you. For now, we sign off, but not before reminding you to stay adventurous, stay safe, and see you in the next video.